Hello, today I'm going to talk about pointer variables in C++. Now, what is a pointer? A pointer is a special type of variable that points to a specific location in memory. A pointer is also a variable that holds a memory address. It contains the actual address of data. Pointers do not contain data, but address of data. This address is the location of a variable in a memory. Now, as you see in this graphic representation, here we have variable I, we have its value. Now, this is the location containing the variable value. Now, this is its address. Normally, if you declare a variable, it should have the location name where it is located, and it should have the value in the program, and also it has the variable has location number or address, the memory address where it is located within memory. Now, let's see how to declare the pointers. The pointers are declared in this way. We start by writing data type, then you write star, and then you write pointer name, and then you put semicolon. So here data type is any valid data types, which can be integer, char, or float, and so on. So the pointer name here, this pointer name, it is the name of the pointer variable. Then there are two special operators, point operators that we'll be talking about. We have this star and this ampersand character. So this ampersand character, it is a unal operator that returns the memory address. The asterisk is called the value. Actually, it is the value at address operator or indirection operator. Let's see this example. Here we have an expression where there is a variable m, which is being assigned address of the variable count. So normally this is how to assign the address of a variable to a pointer. Suppose this one is a pointer m, and pointer m is supposed to hold address of a variable. So this is the way that you can use to assign a variable address to a pointer. So normally this is a unal operator. Now the address of variable count is placed into m, as I'm explaining here. Now assume that count, the variable count, uses the memory location 2000 or 2000. Now to store its value, assume the value is 100. So m received the address of count, which is 2000. Assume that 2000 is the address of the variable count in the memory, and 100 is the value of that variable in the memory. Now, as you see here, as you have mentioned above, that's the variable name, that's its value, that's the address of that variable in memory location. Now let's see this example. Here I have a declaration of pointer which is called ptr1. So this pointer ptr1, it is a pointer that is that will point on the integer to the integer variable. We have again the pointer ptr2, which is the pointer that is pointing to the variable which is a float variable. Now here, the white space doesn't matter, and each of the following will declare ptr as pointer to a float variable and data as float variable. As we are seeing these examples, here we have a declaration of the normal variable or a variable data and a pointer ptr. So you may declare a pointer with the variables on the same line. So this pointer is pointing to a float variable. It will point to a float variable. The same case here, you can declare a pointer by using this way. You write a star or space. So it doesn't matter, and each of this declaration we declare the pointer ptr. You can also declare the pointer by putting star and pointer name in the bracket. You can also put a pointer after declaration of variable, as you're seeing on this line, on this statement. Now, let's see how to assign a variable to pointers. We can assign values to pointers. Now here we have a pointer variable has to be assigned a valid memory address before it can be used in the program. So this is the rule. You can't use pointers to variables if you have not assigned the address to those pointers. So here we have an example. This is a variable called data, which is a float variable with its initial value, that is its initialization. And here we have the variable variable ptr, that is a pointer which is pointing to which will point to a float variable. Now if you want now to assign a value to pointer, that value should be address of another variable. So this is the way that you can use. You can write the pointer name equal to the address of the variable, which means this pointer ptr will point or will hold address of data in the memory location. This will assign the address of the memory location allocated for the floating point variable data to the pointer variable ptr, as I'm mentioning there. So this is okay since the variable data has already been allocated some memory space having a valid address. So if you like, we are going to see in the next slide, you can't assign a value. You can't assign a value to the pointer if the pointer has not been declared. It is not possible. As you're seeing here, let me use this diagram. So this variable data contains the value 50.8. Now this variable data, it is located, or its address in the memory, it is FF4. Now if I say the address of data is held by pointer, it means the pointer itself is a variable that is located in the memory, but its value is FF4, because if it is pointing to the variable data and yet the variable data has this address in the memory, then if we want to show how ptr is represented in the memory, we can just represent this way. So ptr is a pointer which holds the address of the variable data. The memory may have different variable addresses. Now this is how you can represent this situation. Now don't try to assign a specific integer value to a pointer variable, since it can be disastrous. For example, if you have a pointer called ptr, which will point to a float variable, you cannot write ptr equals to 120. So this is the value, it's not address. So a pointer is always pointing to the variable, or is always holding the address of variable. Instead, you can write in this way. You can say, but here there is a mistake. There's also a mistake that can occur. If you say int data equals 50, and if you write float style ptr, that's the declaration of pointer called ptr, which has to point to a float variable. Then if you write ptr equals to the address of data, this is a mistake. This is error. It is error because the pointer should always be assigned the address of variable having the same data type. So this is error because the variable data is an integer variable. It's not a float variable. So this is an error. Now let's see how to initialize pointers. A pointer can be initialized during declaration by assigning it the address of an existing variable. As you're seeing this example, we have pointer data that is holding a value 50.8. Now you can automatically assign the address of that variable data to the pointer as well as you are declaring it. So this is a declaration of pointer. At the same time, it is being assigned the address of data. So this is initialization of pointer ptr. Now, if a pointer is not initialized during declaration, it is wise to give it a null value. So when a pointer is not initialized, you can give it a null value. You can write 0, that is equal to pointer name, or you can also write the pointer name. You can declare a pointer and then you assign it the word null. It's the same way as you write 0. So the null pointer is the valid address of any data type. So any data type can have null pointer. So, but null pointer is not a memory address 0. It is an error to difference a pointer whose value is null. It is an error when a pointer has null as its value. So you can't dereference a pointer whose value is that value null. Such an error may cause your program to crash or behave erratically. It is the programmer's job to check for this. Now, what is the referencing? So the referencing means the use of pointer variables to access the value stored at the location pointed by the variable. So we are going to see how to use the referencing operator or indirection operator, that is star. This one is called the referencing operator or indirection operator. Now let's see this example where we are using the referencing operator or indirection operator. So here we have declaration of variable, or sorry, initialization of variable data. Then you have declaration of pointer ptr. Then this line explains the assignment or assignment of the address of variable data to the pointer called ptr. So this is how you can assign the address of variable data to the point called ptr. Now if you want now to print out the value where this pointer ptr is pointing to, you can write in this way. You write star ptr. So this star is the referencing operator. It is just used to locate the value of the variable where the pointer is pointing to. Now, once the pointer variable ptr has been declared this way, so now star ptr represent the value pointed to by ptr, or the value located at the address specified by ptr. And it may be treated like any other variable of float type. Normally, what is important is to see how you can assign, or you can print the value, the content of allocation where the pointer is pointing to. You can just write in this way. So the dereferencing operator star can also be used as an assignment like this one. So when you know where the pointer is pointing, you can also take any value you assign to star ptr. This is acceptable in C++ program. So you have to make sure that ptr has been properly initialized. You can't write in this way if, for example, this line is not there. It is not possible to write this way. It is not possible to write in this way if this line is not there. Now let's see this example where we are talking about the referencing operator. So here we have a C++ program. Actually we have declaration of initialization of variable data, the declaration of pointer ptr, and assignment of the address of the variable data to the pointer ptr. Then here I want to print out the content of where ptr is pointing. It will normally print like, let me change here, let me say this is data, let me say, can say data equals, so it will give us data equals to the content that this point where this pointer is pointing to. It means it will be 50.8. Now this line here, it shows how you can assign a value to star ptr. So this is valid. Now let's see if we copy it maybe in C++, what will be the output. What will be the output? Let me copy it in C++. Let me copy this program within C++. Dev C++ compiler editor. So great. Now let's run and see the result or the output. Execute, compile and run. Let's save it. Let's call it pointer example. So it's compiling. Okay, great. So after running this example, you see here we have data equals. What is that? It is the value that is located in the place where this pointer PTR is pointing. Now what is here? We see that on this line, style PTR has been assigned 27.4. It means the location where PTR is pointing to has changed the value. The actual value of that location is 27.4. The reason why, if we try to print out the content of the location where PTR is pointing, we will find 27.4 as you are seeing here. So this is data, the location, the value of that location is no longer 50.8, but it is 27 as you are seeing here. Now let's continue and see. Now this is another example. Where we have variable I, and we are printing the address of I as you're seeing here. This is address operator, and here we are printing the value of I, and this notation is the way you can print it is the way you can print, for example, the content of where let me change it. Yes, so this is the way you can print the content of where pointer where the location where I is located. You can also write style then address operator I. So this is to print the content where I is located in the memory of computer, memory location. You can print the memory location where I is located. You can print its content in this way. You can write style bracket address operator then I. So this will print the same way as you write the name of the pointer here. Now let's see how it will work by using Dev C++. Let me run it. So let's compile and run. Let's call it example pointer 2. example. So as you're seeing here, we have the message address of I. You see, this is the address of I in the memory. This is how it is represented in the memory. The value of I, it is 3 as it is mentioned here. The value of I equals, you see, so star bracket & I, it shows, this one shows the value that where this variable I is located. It means it is the value of that address. In the memory address called this one, we have the value called 3. We have a 3 in this address location memory. This address, we have 3 as it is mentioned here. Now let's continue. So as have mentioned there, the expression &I returns the address of the variable I. This expression returns the value of I, as you are seeing this example. I is 3, right? Now, the address returned by this expression can be collected into a variable. It can be collected into the variable. So that variable can be a pointer. Now let's see an example of C++ program which helps to swap two integers, read from the keyboard, and then print them before and after swapping. We are going to use Dev C++ compiler editor to write this program. It means the user has to input two integers from the with the keyboard, and then the program will swap these integers and print them before and after swapping. Let's see how to do it. So I start by including iStream, then using namespace std. Now let me also mention the main function. So I have to declare these variables. Let me call one n1 and n2. Let me also declare the pointers that will be used to operate on these variables. I can use star p1 and star p2. Let me also declare another variable temp, which will hold temporarily the value for n or n2 as I will be swapping. Now I can also write in this way. Let me also declare this variable temp as a pointer. Yeah, so I can say, okay, let me declare it as a normal variable temp. Now I can say cout enter to integer values. This is the message that the user will receive before starting entering values. Then let me use scene to read these values. One will be read in n1, another in n2. That's how you can read values into variables using cin function, input function. Now I can use the pointers to hold the address of these variables. I can say P1 will hold the address of N1, P2 will hold the address of N2. How can I swap them? I can say, let me use the pointer P1 and P2. I can say temp will hold the content of N1. So by using the pointer P1, I can write star P1. It means star P1 shows the content, the value of N1. Because if I know that P1 is pointing to the location called N1, it means if P1 holds the address of N1, now I have right to use this statement temp equals to star P1. Now I can say P1, star P1 equals to star P2. I want to mention that the location where P1 is pointing to receives the content of where P2 is pointing. Normally P2 is pointing to holds the address of N2. So if I write star P2, it means I want to show that the content of N2 is given to the location where P1 is pointing. And this location where P1 is pointing, it is N1. Now I can write star P2 equals to temp. It means what was in temp, it was the value of the location where P2 is pointing. Now it is now what is in temp. Temp is giving its value to the location where P2 is pointing. And remember, P2 is pointing to the variable to the location called N1. It means it holds the address of N2 here. N2. P2 is the pointer of N2. So if I write this way, I take the value that is held by temp, I give it to the location that P2 is pointing, which that location is called N2. Now this is the process of swapping. That's how you can swap. That's the process of swapping. Now let's print this, the value of N1 and N2 before swapping. You can say cout before swapping N1 equals, let me use its pointer, let me use star P1 cout N2 equals star P2. Now that is before swapping. Let's see now, let's print Let's also print these variables after swapping. You can say, but here there is an error. It can't work. So this one should be just here. I can put this one here. Yes, this statement should be here because when you put them here, it will print the value of n and n2, n1 and n2 after swapping. Now we can say cout after swapping. Can now bring these lines here. Now let's see how it will work. Return 0. Now let's compile and run our program. Let's click let's go to execute, compile and run. So let me call this file name pointer example 3. Yes, as you're seeing here, the program is prompting this message to enter two values. Let me enter like 20, then 30. Now if I press enter, it will show me before swapping n1 is equal to 20, n2 is equal to 30. Then after swapping, you see the value of n2 has been given to the variable n1. Then the content of n1, it has been allocated to n2. So this is how it can be done. You see, it shows how much you can swap variables by using the pointers. Yeah, this is how it can be done.